ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहैः तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Give me a ॐ वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते साधनचतुष्टय सम्पन्नाधिकारिणां मोक्षसाधनभूतं तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः। साधनचतुष्टयं किम्? नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः, इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः, शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः, मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति। नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः कः? नित्यवस्तुवेकं ब्रह्म तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वम् अनित्यम्, अयमेव नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः। विरागः कः? इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यम्। शमादि साधन संपत्तिः का? शमोदम उपरम तितिक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति। शमः कः? मनोनिग्रहः। दमः कः? चक्षुरादि बाह्येन्द्रिय निग्रहः। उपरमः कः? स्वधर्मानुष्ठानमेव। तितिक्षा का? शीतोष्ण सुखदुःखादि सहिष्णुत्वम् श्रद्धा कीदृशी गुरुवेदांत वाक्यादिषु विश्वासः श्रद्धा समाधानं किं चित्तैकाग्रता मुमुक्षुत्वं किं मोक्षो मे भूयात् इति इच्छा एतत् साधनचतुष्टयम् ततः तत्त्वविवेकस्याधिकारिणो भवन्ति तत्त्वविवेकः कः आत्मा सत्यं तदन्यत् सर्वं मिथ्येति आत्मा कः स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः पंचकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रय साक्षी सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपः सन् यः तिष्ठति स आत्मा स्थूल शरीरं किं पंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादि भोगायतनं शरीरम् अस्ति जायते वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यति इति षड्विकारवत् एतत् स्थूल शरीरम् सूक्ष्म शरीरं किम् अपंचीकृत पंचमहाभूतैः कृतं सत्कर्मजन्यं सुखदुःखादि भोग साधनं पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि पंच कर्मेन्द्रियाणि पंच प्राणादयः मनश्चैकं बुद्धिश्चैका एवं सप्तदशा कलाभिः सह यः तिष्ठति तत् सूक्ष्म शरीरम् श्रोत्रं त्वक् चक्षुः रसना घ्राणम् इति पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि श्रोत्रस्य दिग्देवता त्वचो वायुः चक्षुषः सूर्यः रसनाय वरुणः घ्राणस्य अश्विनौ इति ज्ञानेन्द्रिय देवताः श्रोत्रस्य विषयः शब्दग्रहणं त्वचो विषयः स्पर्शग्रहणं चक्षुषो विषयः रूपग्रहणं रसनाय विषयः रसग्रहणं घ्राणस्य विषयः गन्धग्रहणम् इति वाक् पाणि पाद पायूपस्थानीति पंच कर्मेन्द्रियाणि वाचो देवता वह्निः हस्तयोरिन्द्रः पादयोर्विष्णुः पायोर्मृत्युः उपस्थस्य प्रजापतिः इति कर्मेन्द्रिय देवताः वाचो विषयः भाषणं पाण्योर्विषयः वस्तुग्रहणं पादयोर्विषयः गमनं पायोर्विषयः मलत्यागः उपस्थस्य विषयः आनंद इति कारणशरीरं किम् अनिर्वाच्य अनाद्य अविद्यारूपं शरीरद्वयस्य कारणमात्रं सत्स्वरूप अज्ञानं निर्विकल्पकरूपं यदस्ति तद् कारणशरीरम् अवस्थात्रयं किम् जागृत स्वप्न सुषुप्त्यावस्थाः जागृदवस्था का श्रोत्रादि ज्ञानेन्द्रियैः शब्दादि विषयैश्च ज्ञायते इति यत् सा जागृदवस्था स्थूल शरीराभिमानी आत्मा तैजसा आत्मा विश्वा इति उच्यते स्थूल शरीराभिमानी आत्मा विश्वा इति उच्यते स्वप्नावस्था केति चेत् जागृदवस्थायां यद् दृष्टं यद् श्रुतं तज्जनित वासनया निद्रासमये यः प्रपञ्चः प्रतीयते सा स्वप्नावस्था सूक्ष्म शरीराभिमानी आत्मा तैजसा इति उच्यते अतः सुषुप्त्यावस्था का अहं किमपि न जानामि सुखेन मया निद्रा अनुभूयत इति सुषुप्त्यावस्था। कारणशरीराभिमानी आत्मा प्राज्ञा इति उच्यते। पंचकोशाः के? अन्नमय, प्राणमय, मनोमय, विज्ञानमय, आनंदमयश्चेति। अन्नमयः कः? अन्नरसेनैव भूत्वा अन्नरसेनैव वृद्धिं प्राप्य अन्नरूपपृथिव्यां यद् विलीयते तदन्नमयः कोशः स्थूलशरीरम्। प्राणमयः कः? प्राणाद्याः पञ्चवायवः वागादीन्द्रियपञ्चकं प्राणमयः कोशः। मनोमयः कोशः कः? मनश्च ज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स मनोमयः कोशः। विज्ञानमयः कः? बुद्धिज्ञानेन्द्रियपञ्चकं मिलित्वा यो भवति स विज्ञानमयः कोशः। आनन्दमयः कः? एवमेव कारणशरीरभूता भूता विद्यास्तमलिनसत्वं प्रियादिवृत्तिसहितं सत् आनन्दमयः कोशः। आनन्दमयः कः? एवमेव कारणशरीरभूत अविद्यास्तमलिनसत्वं प्रियादिवृत्तिसहितं सत् आनन्दमयः कोशः। एतद् कोशपञ्चकम्। मदीयं शरीरं, मदीयाः प्राणाः, मदीयं मनश्च, मदीया बुद्धिः, मदीयम् अज्ञानमिति स्वेनैव ज्ञायते। तद्यथा मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातं कटककुण्डलगृहादिकं स्वस्माद् भिन्नं तथा पञ्चकोशादिकं स्वस्माद् भिन्नं मदीयत्वेन ज्ञातमात्मा न भवति। आत्मा तर्हि कः? सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपः। सत् किं? कालत्रयेऽपि तिष्ठतीति सत्। चित् किं? ज्ञानस्वरूपः। आनन्दः कः? सुखस्वरूपः। एवं सच्चिदानन्दस्वरूपं स्वात्मानं विजानीयात्। अथ चतुर्विंशतितत्त्वोत्पत्तिप्रकारं वक्ष्यामः। ब्रह्माश्रया सत्वरजस्तमो गुणात्मिका माया अस्ति। ततः आकाशः सम्भूतः। आकाशात् वायुः, वायोस्तेजः, तेजसापः, अद्भ्यः पृथिवी। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये आकाशस्य सात्विकांशात् श्रोत्रेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वायोः सात्विकांशात् त्वगीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, अग्नेः सात्विकांशात् चक्षुरिन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, जलस्य सात्विकांशात् रसनेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, पृथिव्याः सात्विकांशात् घ्राणेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां समिष्टिसात्विकांशात् मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कारचित्तान्तःकरणानि सम्भूतानि। संकल्पविकल्पात्मकं मनः, निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धिः, अहंकर्ता अहंकारः, चिन्तनकर्तृ चित्तम्, मनसो देवता चन्द्रमाः, बुद्धेः ब्रह्म, अहंकारस्य रुद्रः, चित्तस्य वासुदेवः। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये आकाशस्य राजसांशात् वागीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्, वायोः राजसांशात् पाणीन्द्रियं सम्भूतं। वह्नेः राजसांशात् पादेन्द्रियं सम्भूतं। जलस्य राजसांशात् उपस्थेन्द्रियं सम्भूतं। पृथिव्या राजसांशात् गुदेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्। एतेषां समिष्टिराजसांशात् पञ्चप्राणाः सम्भूताः। एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां तामसांशात् पञ्चीकृतपञ्चतत्त्वानि भवन्ति। पञ्चीकरणं कथमिति चेत् एतेषां पञ्चमहाभूतानां तामसांशस्वरूपम् एकमेकं भूतं द्विधा विभज्य एकमेकमर्धं पृथक् तूष्णीं व्यवस्थाप्य अपरमपरमर्धं चतुर्धां विभज्य स्वाधर्मण्येषु अर्धेषु स्वभागचतुष्टयसंयोजनं कार्यम्। तदा पञ्चीकरणं भवति। एतेभ्यः पञ्चीकृतपञ्चमहाभूतेभ्यः स्थूलशरीरं भवति। एवं पिण्डब्रह्माण्डयोरैक्यं सम्भूतम्। स्थूलशरीराभिमानी जीवनामकं ब्रह्म प्रतिबिम्बं भवति। स एव जीवः प्रकृत्या स्वस्मात् ईश्वरं भिन्नत्वेन जानाति। अविद्योपाधिः सन् आत्मा जीवा इति उच्यते। मायोपाधिः सन् ईश्वर इति उच्यते। एवं उपाधिभेदात् जीवेश्वर भेददृष्टिः यावत् पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते। तस्मात् कारणात् न जीवेश्वरयोर्भेदबुद्धिः स्वीकार्या। ननु साहंकारस्य किंचिज्ञस्य जीवस्य निरहंकारस्य सर्वज्ञस्य ईश्वरस्य तत्त्वमसीति महावाक्यात् कथमभेदबुद्धिः स्यात् उभयोः विरुद्धधर्माक्रान्तत्वात्। इति चेन्न स्थूल सूक्ष्म शरीराभिमानी त्वं पदवाच्यार्थः। उपाधि विनिर्मुक्तं समाधि दशा संपन्नं शुद्धं चैतन्यं त्वं पद लक्ष्यार्थः। एवं सर्वज्ञत्वात् विविशिष्ट ईश्वरः तत्पद वाच्यार्थः। उपाधिशून्यं शुद्धं चैतन्यं तत्पद लक्ष्यार्थः। एवं च जीवेश्वरयोर चैतन्य रूपेणा भेदे बाधका भावः। एवं च जीवेश्वरयो चैतन्य रूपेणा भेदे बाधका भावः। एवं च वेदांत वाक्यैः सद्गुरूपदेशेन च सर्वेष्वपि भूतेषु येषां ब्रह्म बुद्धिरुत्पन्ना ते जीवन्मुक्ताः इत्यर्थः। ननु जीवन्मुक्तः कः? यथा देहोऽहं पुरुषोऽहं ब्राह्मणोऽहं शूद्रोऽहमस्मीति दृढनिश्चय तथा नाहं ब्राह्मणः न शूद्रः न पुरुषः किन्तु असङ्गः सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपः प्रकाश रूपः सर्वांतर्यामी चिदाकाश रूपोऽस्मीति दृढ़निश्चय रूपो परोक्ष ज्ञानवान जीवन मुक्तः। दृढ़निश्चय रूपो अपरोक्ष ज्ञानवान जीवन मुक्तः। ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मीति अपरोक्ष ज्ञानेन निखिल कर्म बंध विनिर्मुक्तः स्यात्। कर्माणि कतिविधानि सन्तीति चेत् आगामि संचित प्रारब्ध भेदेन त्रिविधानि सन्ति। ज्ञानोत्पत्त्यनन्तरं ज्ञानि देहकृतं पुण्य पाप रूपं कर्म यदस्ति तदागामि इत्यभिधीयते। संचितं कर्म किम्? अनंत कोटि जन्मनां बीजभूतं सत् यत् कर्म जातं पूर्वार्जितं तिष्ठति तत् संचितं ज्ञेयम्। प्रारब्धं कर्म किमिति चेत् इदं शरीरम् उत्पाद्य इह लोके एवं सुख दुःखादिप्रदं यत् कर्म तत् प्रारब्धं भोगेन नष्टं भवति। प्रारब्ध कर्मणां भोगादेव क्षय इति। संचितं कर्म ब्रह्मैवाहमिति निश्चयात्मक ज्ञानेन नश्यति। आगामि कर्म अपि ज्ञानेन नश्यति, किंच आगामि कर्मणां नलिनी दलगत जलवत् ज्ञानिनां संबंधो नास्ति। किंच ये ज्ञानिनं स्तुवन्ति भजन्ति अर्चयन्ति तान् प्रति ज्ञानिकृतम् आगामि पुण्यं गच्छति। ये ज्ञानिनं निन्दन्ति द्विषन्ति दुःखप्रदानं कुर्वन्ति तान् प्रति ज्ञानिकृतं सर्वमागामि क्रियमाणं यद् वाच्यं कर्म पापात्मकं तद् गच्छति। तथा च आत्मवित् संसारं तीर्त्वा ब्रह्मानन्दमिहैव प्राप्नोति। तरति शोकमात्मवित् इति श्रुतेः। तनुं त्यजतु वा काश्यां श्वपचस्य गृहेत वा ज्ञानसम्प्राप्तिसमये मुक्तासौ विगताशयः इति स्मृतेश्च। इति तत्त्वबोधप्रकरणं समाप्तम्। ओम तत्सत्। We'll go back to our reading of the Tattva Bodh. I think we finished the introduction, didn't we? Oh, I don't think we read the introduction. I think we read from the Shloka Vasudevendra Yogindram. I think we missed the introduction. I think in order for us to get the perspective, it's good for us to read the introduction. So today, let's just go through the introduction. Vedanta begins with a question: what is the goal of human life? Each one seems to have an apparently different goal. One wants to become a doctor, another an actor, and yet another an Olympic gold medalist. And almost all of us want to become rich. If asked, why do you want to become a doctor or an actor? Why do you want money or fame? The final answer is to become happy. So, in and through all our pursuits, we desire happiness alone. This is the common goal of all living beings. We think happiness is in this or that object, and so we make the object our goal. When did this desire for happiness begin in us? We find that we are born with it. The search for happiness presupposes an existing state of dissatisfaction or sorrow. It is not strange that all human beings have been searching from beginningless time, from morning to night, from birth to death, life after life for happiness, and yet do not seem to have found it. Could we not give up this desire to remain in sorrow? That too is not possible. We cannot be happy being unhappy. Let us inquire, what is the nature of the happiness we seek? Do we want to be happy today, tomorrow, or next year? No. We want to be happy every moment, starting from now, and forever after. Hence, all fairy tales end with the sentence, and they lived happily ever after. We seek eternal happiness. We seek eternal happiness. If we experience some happiness in place, object, situation, person A, and some more in B, then we seek B because we want the maximum happiness possible. In fact, we want unlimited, infinite happiness. Presently, we seek to change the following in order to gain happiness. But do we find it? First place, we undergo lots of travails in travel to reach a holiday resort. When the novelty of the place wears out, we return. Second is time. We always wait for better times to come. Third is objects. We change our cars, houses, TVs, etc. with regularity, hoping that the new model would give us greater joy or lesser trouble. Fourth, circumstances or status. The bachelor wants to get married, the married one divorces, and yet another becomes a renunciate in order to become happy. We change jobs in search of job satisfaction to often find that we have jumped from the frying pan into the fire. Fifth, people. We make and break human relations. We fire the maid in order to make the mother happy and leave her in order to keep the wife smiling. Sixth, body. We have evolved over innumerable lives from the unicellular to the human just to be happy. But even in this life, many contemplate suicide, that is, change the body to get rid of sorrow. So, just by changing the above, our desire for happiness does not end. It would only end when we gain eternal, infinite bliss. Where is this happiness that we seek? Are we looking for it in the wrong place? There are two aspects to life. There are two aspects to life: I, the experiencer, the subject, and the world of objects, emotions, and thoughts. I repeat, there are two aspects to life: I, the experiencer, the subject, and the world of objects, emotions, and thoughts. Now let us ascertain if happiness is the nature of the subject or the objects. One cannot say that there is nothing called happiness, since we all experience it, however fleetingly. Sweetness is the nature of sugar, hence, every particle of it is sweet. Irrespective of the time, place, circumstances, and the person who eats it, it tastes sweet. If eaten for the 50th time, it would still taste sweet. Similarly, if happiness were the nature of the objects of the world, irrespective of the one who experiences them, when or where or however frequently, they would give us joy. For example, chocolates seem to give joy to many. But if we were woken up at midnight to eat one, what would be our reaction? The 50th bar of chocolate would make us sick of it. This inquiry should be done by each one of us about all the objects of the world. If happiness is not the nature of any object, then by the law of the remainder, Parishesha Nyaya, it should be the nature of the subject. Therefore, I am the source of happiness. In fact, I am infinite bliss. I am what I seek. This is the essence of the Vedas, the revelations of the great rishis. Let us think further in order to ascertain this fact, which many initially seem too far-fetched. Which may initially seem too far-fetched. In the deep sleep state, there is no world, yet we experience happiness. Therefore, it is wrong to think that objects alone make us happy. Who experiences happiness in deep sleep? I am there to witness the state of sleep and be happy. Everything tends to change or go towards its own inherent nature. Example, if a block of ice is placed in room temperature, it begins to melt and continues to do so till it has fully reached its most natural state, water. What do we go towards? Joy or sorrow? Our own nature is never a burden to us. Is happiness ever considered a burden? We only get weighed down by sorrow, never by happiness. Hence, unconditioned, objectless happiness is our own true nature. Hence, unconditioned, objectless happiness is our own true nature. There are two types of achievements in the world. One is gain of the ungained thing, apraptasya praptihi. Assuming I am a pauper and in need of money, I have to know how to make money and then work hard to gain it. Therefore, knowledge plus action equals gain. The second is gain of the thing already gained. Praptasya praptihi. If I were to search for my lost keys and someone points out that they were in my pocket all along, do I have to do anything to gain them? No, they were always with me. But through ignorance, I thought I had lost them. On knowing their whereabouts, I gained them. Therefore, knowledge equals gain. No action is required. The gain of the self obviously belongs to the second category. The self is never far from us in terms of time or place. Happiness only appears ungained due to the ignorance of the self. It can be gained by self-knowledge. For any knowledge to take place, three factors are required. First, the object to be known, prameya. Second, the knower of the object, pramata. And third, the means of knowing it, pramana. The most common means of knowledge are: one is direct perception, pratyaksha pramana. It is the knowledge gained through the five sense organs of perception. Example, eyes see color, form, etc. Second is inference, anumana pramana. Based on what we perceive and already know, we infer a thing. Example, we have experienced that whenever there is fire, there is smoke. Therefore, on seeing it, we can infer that there is fire. Third is words, shabda pramana. We gain knowledge by reading or hearing from people who have directly experienced a thing or heard about it. Both inference and word knowledge are based on direct perception. As regards self-knowledge, the object to be known, prameya, is the self, and the knower, pramata, is also the self. What is the means of gaining it? The self is not available for direct perception, therefore it cannot be inferred or spoken of. Then how is self-knowledge possible? The means for it is the Vedas. The Vedas are the discoveries of the laws of nature, the world and the beings living in it, and the ultimate truth. They are called Apaurusheya Grantha, authorless works, as they are not books composed by men at a particular period in history. Like the discovery of the law of gravitation by Newton, the ancient masters received these eternal truths as revelations in meditation. They were later compiled and codified by Veda Vyasa into the four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharvana Veda. So I will just repeat this paragraph again. So, the means for knowledge. As regards self-knowledge, the object to be known, prameya, is the self, and the knower, pramata, is also the self. What is the means of gaining it? The self is not available for direct perception, therefore it cannot be inferred or spoken of. Then, how is self-knowledge possible? The means for it is the Vedas. The Vedas are the discoveries of the laws of nature, the world, and the beings living in it, and the ultimate truth. They are called Apaurusheya Grantha, authorless works, as they are not books composed by men at a particular period in history. Like the discovery of the law of gravitation by Newton, the ancient masters received these eternal truths as revelations in meditation. They were later compiled and codified by Veda Vyasa into the four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharvana Veda. The main topics of the Vedas are Dharma, the laws governing the individual Jiva, the world Jagat, and the creator Ishvara, their interrelationship, and the laws of karma, etc., by which man can lead a successful worldly life. This part of the Vedas is called Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. The second is Brahman, the knowledge of the ultimate truth. It answers the fundamental questions of life. Who am I? What is my goal in life? Etc. Self-knowledge liberates individuals from the limitations of worldly existence. This portion is called Jnana Kanda, Upanishad, or Vedanta. The three basic texts that a student of Vedanta studies from a guru are the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. They are called the Prasthanatrayi. The new initiates, if they were to begin with these texts right away, would find them difficult to comprehend, and therefore they are first taught introductory texts, Prakarana Granthaha. These books explain the basic concepts of Vedanta in simple terms without going into any argumentation of various philosophic thoughts. Tattva bodha, written by Adi Shankaracharya, is one such Prakarana Grantha. In a simple question-answer style, he has expounded the essence of Vedantic terminology and philosophy. The notes are added to help the seeker. We did this invocation and auspicious beginning. Yeah. So now, actually, we will stop here for a while and just do a bit of manana before we go on to the next. So beautifully started off with how the goal of life is, how everybody wants. There are different pursuits, different goals, but ultimate pursuit is that of happiness. And for any experience, there are two things. One is the experiencer and then the object. So where is the happiness? Is it in the experiencer or in the objects? If it is in the object, it has to be like the sugar is sweet, no matter what time of the day, where and who has it, the experience of sweetness is the same. Sugar is sweet throughout, irrespective of the time, place, and person. So similarly, if objects are to be the source of happiness, then the object should be giving us the happiness irrespective of time, place, and person. But the example given was a person is woken up in the middle of the night and given chocolate. Will it make him happy? No. And therefore, from this we infer that we can prove that objects are not the source of happiness. And then by the nyaya of parishesha nyaya, so whatever left should be the source. There cannot be a third source. So there can be only two sources, either subject or object. Since object is not, then it must be the subject, the experiencer. So then for knowledge, there are three things. One is the prameya, the object of knowledge. Pramata is the subject. And then the means of knowledge, pramana. So with respect to self-knowledge, the pramata and prameya are the same. It is the self that you need to know. But what is the means of knowledge? There are three types of pramanas. That is pratyaksha pramana, direct perception from the senses. Anumana is you infer. Like there's smoke, you infer there is fire. And agami, not agami. Agama pramana. Just 1 second. Yeah. So direct and shabda pramana. Yeah, this is what he meant. This is agama. Actually, in Patanjali, we learn it as agama, but then here, shabda pramana. So the shabda pramana is you gain knowledge when you listen to things. Like right now, we're hearing, we're able to get knowledge. So both inference and word knowledge are based on direct perception. But with reference to self-knowledge, the self is not available for direct perception, nor can it be inferred. So what is the way forward? It cannot be inferred or spoken of. It has to be through the Vedas. The means for it, therefore, is the Vedas. And what are the Vedas? They are Apaurusheya Grantha. They are authorless works. Just like how Newton expounded the laws of gravitation, how he had that experience of that gravitation and he got it. Similarly, the ancient rishis, in their meditation, these were eternal truths that were revealed to them. And they were later codified by Vedavyasa into the four Vedas. So the main topics of the Vedas are Dharma and Vedanta. Dharma is all about righteous living and living a successful worldly life. That is all through the Karma Kanda. And then here they talk about the Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat, and the Karma, the laws of Karma that bind these. So it's called Karma Kanda or Upasana Kanda. Whereas the second part, the Brahman, talks about the knowledge and ultimate truth. And this liberates person. So there are three basic texts that a student learns from the Guru. They're called the Prasthanatrayi. They are the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita. But if a student directly jumps to these, he may get confused. So there are some introductory texts that introduce Vedantic definitions. And they're called Prakarana Granthas. So Tattva Bodh is one such Prakarana Grantha. So anybody wants to share?
Yeah, Hari Om Brahmaraji, very beautifully you explained. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam sukham bhavati iti. The way when we look at ourselves, for the sthula sharira, we need a mirror. We cannot look at our own self without mirror. So that mirror, um, I'm thinking like for Atma Bodh, that mirror becomes these three sources. Through these three sources, Brahmaraji.
What are the three sources?
This Prakarana Grantha, Bhagavad Gita.
You mean the Prasthanatrayi?
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
very right. The
beautiful,
Vedanta is like a mirror.
very
Hmm.
beautiful. Wow, wow. Analogy.
So our mirror, the way you gave beautiful example of a sugar, that it is an object, but the prakriti of sugar is, I mean, it never changes. But the objects which we seek for happiness, maybe people or maybe certain situations, they keep on changing. So that is why that permanent, that nature of permanence, happy, that permanent bliss cannot be found in the objects which keep on changing their prakriti.
Correct.
We have to look for the source which remains same like sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the mirror also what we use sometimes, they are concave, convex. So they are not the correct mirror. And the mirror which we use, they themselves have dust on them. And that's why we are not able to see our own reflection also properly.
That is why you require the correct sampradaya. Very beautifully pointed out as the mirror, because if you're following the wrong sampradaya, what we're following here is Advaita Sampradaya, which means the mirror is clean and it's giving us an exact vision of who we are, the right way. You
That
can
is why
also,
the first condition, yeah.
you can also assume this right, correct mirror as getting that Shastra Kripa, Guru Kripa, Shastra Kripa. That is what the Shastra wants to convey. You're able to understand and perceive. Sometimes The Shastra is not at fault, but how we perceive it, how we understand it, comprehend it might be wrong. So, there, that right understanding.
Very true.
And see, these are the things that we seek to change the following in order to gain happiness. There are 6 things that Swamiji has enumerated. One is place, time, objects, circumstances and status, people, and the body.
Yeah, these all are changing. I mean, they have the nature of changing. There is no permanence in themselves. And one more word, Parishesha Nyaya Brahmaraji.
Huh,
So that I was just thinking, Parishesha means whatever is remaining.
correct.
Hmm.
Because it started off, what was the inference? What was the assumption? We assumed that, not assumed, it is, that is what it is, right? So,
Hmm.
what is there that?
The objects have limitation in their
Correct. No, it is that there
in
are
the
two things
happiness.
required. Either so there is that. So we require two things for happiness. One is, see, there are two aspects to life. I, the experiencer, the subject, and the world of objects, emotions, and thoughts. Now let us ascertain if happiness is the nature of the subject or the objects. So that was the that is the statement. Is it from the subject or the object? So then you go on to prove that it is not from the objects. Why? Because objects, the happiness you get from objects is changing. It is not the same. We change places, we change people, we change relationships, we change, we think we're waiting for the right time to come. Same thing with the body. So that we have, we've inferred that, we've proved that basically it is not from the objects. Objects don't give us everlasting infinite happiness. So what is the remainder? It is, we spoke about what? The subject or the experiencer, the subject or the world of objects. So now it is not the world of objects that gives us happiness, infinite happiness. So what remains is the experiencer or the subject. So that is the Parishesha Nyaya. So what is the
Yeah, very
remainder?
beautiful.
What is the one
Very beautiful.
left? Is the experiencer. So
Hmm.
I is the source of happiness. And I am the self. I am the source of infinite happiness. Without any of the objects, I remain happy. I
Hmm.
am asangaha. So that is the Parishesha Nyaya.
Very beautiful.
And even this is beautiful. I mean, everything tends to change or go towards its own inherent nature. That is why we move towards happiness. Why is everybody's pursuit ultimately pursuit of happiness? Whether it's a doctor or an Olympic medalist or whoever it is. It's because that is our inherent nature. There's an example of how when you keep an ice block in room temperature, it melts and becomes water. Water is its inherent nature, own most natural state. Natural state of water is water. When you heat it, it becomes steam. When you freeze it, it becomes ice. But when you let it remain the way it is in its natural liquid state. Similarly, all of us, our natural state, inherent nature is that of joy, of happiness. That is why we pursue happiness. We never get burdened by happiness. It is only we get burdened by sorrow. And then this apraptasya praptihi, there are two types of achievements in the world. Apraptasya praptihi, gain of the ungained thing. Example was given, that was given was that of a pauper who doesn't have money. So in order to make money, he has to work hard to gain it. That is, he needs to know how to make money and then work towards gaining it. So you need knowledge plus effort, knowledge plus action to gain this. This is the apraptasya praptihi. Whereas there is some praptasya praptihi. So gain of a thing which is already gained. This is the example of self-knowledge. So the example given here was the lost keys. You are searching for your lost keys, not knowing that they are in your pocket. So you already have them, but you don't know that you have them. Unless someone tells you, points out to you and says, hey, listen, your keys are in your pocket. So there is no action required. It's only a revelation. It's only knowledge. Oh, I have my keys with me. Similarly, this is self-knowledge. Self is already Satchidananda. We only have to know. So therefore, there is no action required here. Which is why Atma Bodh, Tattva Bodh, all the Vedanta has been talking about you don't need to do anything to gain self-knowledge. As in, you cannot get it by doing. Of course, you need to prepare your mind that for that you have to do certain things. But ultimate self-knowledge is a matter of knowledge. It's a matter of removing the ignorance. So this is praptasya praptihi. Yeah. So we'll stop here today. See, that is why Nana said when I asked him for Gita, said, should we go directly to chapter 1? He said, no, it's very important. You go to the introduction because then you get a perspective of the whole. So getting to the introduction is very, very important. So we'll continue with the I think we left at Shamadhi Shat Sampatti. We'll begin there. Okay. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Meditation is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region. throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here will lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the efforts. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.